Our suffering is innocently strategic. We just don't know it yet. So, the main way that a child gets its needs for love and safety met when it's raised in an environment with little to no love or safety is by repressing parts of itself. The sentiment is sort of like, well, maybe if I make myself different, then my caregivers will love and protect me. Maybe a hurt repressor has a parent that's sort of tough and no nonsense, and they think, well, maybe if I push down my vulnerability and my hurt and my sadness and I be like this parent, then that'll do it. Or maybe an anger repressor learns from their anger repressing parent that they have to push down any big emotions and be kind and good, right? And maybe that'll do it. Maybe that'll get me love and safety. And so we subtly learn that we have to push down parts of ourselves and suffer in order to get what we need. And once this mechanism of repression becomes unconscious, it becomes automatic and compulsive. So now we're having these symptoms and we don't know what they are until a clinician steps in and says, that's depression, that's anxiety, right? That's addiction, that's chronic pain. I've talked to a number of people, and I have been someone who, when we found out, what our diagnosis was, there was a sense of relief, like, oh, that's what's wrong with me. But here's the part that I didn't recognize until years later when I started doing inquiry and emotional repression work. As soon as I took on that diagnosis as an identity and seemingly found a way to address or treat or resolve my suffering state, in my case, it was addiction recovery. For other people, it might be therapy or meds or mindfulness. I started getting my needs met. In one sense, it was good because I was starting to get what I never got. But on a deeper level, it was mirroring my childhood strategy of I have to suffer to get my needs met, right? And it was reinforcing my repressed emotions. So what ended up happening was eventually my solution became my problem. In my case, like I said, it was addiction recovery, and for others, it could be the other things I mentioned, therapy or meds or mindfulness. In any case, this is why we talk about identity, belief, programming, deficiency stories as a drug, right? Because people have to get to the end of their rope with them before they really start to want to do emotional repression work. And so the Killer Bee Inquiries is sort of like the last house on the block, right? You don't go there until you really have to. If you really have to, visit repressiontest.com.